Welcome back. In this lecture, we will finally start working with templates. Before we get into the code, I just want to talk about something. You can do the same templating in other languages like JavaScript, PHP, Java, or any other programming language you are comfortable in. The good thing about Golang is that it encourages you to think like a programmer. Now, what do I mean by that? In Golang, you are basically forced to think in the idiomatic way. For example, let's say if I have a problem. Now, before jumping into the problem, we can ask ourselves, how do I solve this by using just programming? Or how do I solve this problem like a programmer? So Go has this idiomatic way of solving problems. And in this course, we are going to follow that. Now let's take a very basic problem and let's try to solve it in the Golang way. So here we have the first template. Here we have a placeholder called name. Now we have to take this template and generate an HTML file. And in that HTML file, we have to replace this placeholder with our name. Let's see how we can do that. Now let's open VS Code. You can use any online editor for this as well, but I'm going to use VS Code for now. Here you can see that I have an empty directory called Go Web Dev. I'll be writing all my code in this directory. Now let's start by opening our terminal. Here, let me first create my Go mod file. So I'll write go space mod space init. And now I have to give the name to my project. Let's call it Go Web Dev like this. And there you go. We have our Go mod file created like this. As you can see, I'm using the version Go 1.20. You can use any latest version of Golang. Now, I'll close this. And now I'll start by creating a new file called main.go. So I'll write main.go like this. Now we have to write, here we will write all our code. So let's start by writing the package. So I'll write package main, and then we will have our main function. So I'll write func main like this. This will be our starting point. Just to get things started, let me just write fmt.println, and here I'll write hello world. So let's save it and let's head over to our terminal, and I'll write go run main.go, and you can see that we have hello world in the output. Now let's create our template. So I'm going to write it like this: tmpl, which stands for our template. And to this variable, I'll assign a string like this. And here I'm going to write hello. And now I need a placeholder. So I'm just going to write it like this: name. You have purchased a course from Downtask. All right. So this is a good string for our template. Now somehow we need to replace this name placeholder by our name. Now, instead of overcomplicating things now, we will just see a simple way to replace this name placeholder by using the string concatenation. So I'll start by creating a new variable called name, and I'll just write my name here. You can use your name over here. And now here I will write hello, and I'll close the string over here, and then I'll write plus, then I'll write name space, and then I will write plus, and I will open the quotes back again. So as you can see here, this will be hello space, and then my name, then there will be a comma, and then rest of the string. So let's print it out on the screen. So I'll write fmt.println, and then here I'll write tmpl, which stands for template. And just for our convenience, I'm going to delete this hello world print statement. Let's save everything. Let's go back to our console, and let me clear out the screen, and I'll write go run main.go. As you can see, we have the output here. Hello Ayush, you have purchased the course from Dowtask. And this is a very, very basic way of using templates. I have replaced the name placeholder by using the variable name. Now I know you must be thinking, we have the output on screen, but we didn't want that. We basically need the output in an HTML file. Let's see how we can do that. Instead of modifying any of the code, what I'll do, I'll write go run main.go, and now I will pipe the output of this program into an HTML file. So I'll write index.html. So whatever output this program generates, it will be piped or written into this HTML file. Let's see what happens. So I'll just press enter, and there you go. You can see that in my directory there is a new file called index.html, and we have all our content here. So whatever output this file was generating, it is written into this HTML file. That's interesting. Now instead of writing the text directly, let's have a proper HTML code. So now I will create a new string here, and I'll call it HTML_template. And now I'll write backticks like this so that I can write my string in multiple lines. And now here I'll write doctype, or it should be caps, doctype HTML. Then I'll specify the HTML tag. Inside this HTML tag, I'll write head, and let me just close it before I forget. And there will be a title. Let me close it again. And for title, I'm gonna write template 101. And after head, I'll write body like this. And inside the body, I have to write my content. So let's start by creating a p tag, and let me just close it like this. And between this p tag, I want my template output. How do we do that? So let's just create some room, and here I have to write my template output. Now I'll just close my backtick over here, and then I'll write a plus, and then I'll write tmpl or tmpl, and then plus again, and then I'll open the backtick again and just remove the closing backtick. So now it goes like this. We have a p tag, and then we have the tmpl, whatever value is stored in this variable tmpl, everything will be kept here. And then we have the closing p tag, closing body tag, and closing HTML tag. So this is a proper HTML output. Let's just save everything, and down here, instead of printing out tmpl variable, I'm going to print out HTML_tmpl. Now let's save everything. Let's clear out the console. I'm going to write go run main.go, and this time I'm going to pipe it to index underscore, or let's just do index2.html. Let's see what happens. So here a new file index2.html is created, and there you go. We have the output. We have doctype, HTML, head, body, and the p tag. And this p tag contains everything we had inside the tmpl variable. So now let's try to open this variable in Chrome. So I'll right click, reveal in Finder. If you're on Windows, you can do reveal in Explorer. And now let's just open this in Chrome. So I'll just do like this. It doesn't work. So I'll just reveal this in Explorer. And there you go. We have the HTML page. We have the title of Template 101, and we have the content, hello Ayush, you have purchased the course from Dowtask. So everything is working as expected. This was a very, very basic way of creating templates. And to be honest, I really like it. There is nothing fancy going on here. Everything is just as I expected. Now, let's take a pause here. And we will rewrite this whole program in a different way, because I don't really like the piping thing here, because now I am dependent on the output returned by this file, and then that output is fed into a new HTML file. So there has to be a better way of doing this, and there is. So let's take a pause here and let's talk about it in the next lecture.